Hello everyone, my name is Anas. I am a student of Recreational Architecture, Jamia, Millia, Islamia. My thesis 2021 topic is Restoration of Yamuna Floodplain, Case of Garhi Mandu, Delhi. So I'll start with a brief introduction. As we all know, Delhi is facing so many issues nowadays, such as a dam, river, reduced cover forest, waterlogged reservoir, open sewer, extreme air pollution, and solid waste management. Out of which Yamuna is facing issues such as polluted water and reducing green cover from the floodplains and dumping of solid waste in the floodplains, land encroachment on the floodplain. So currently, the floodplains of the Yamuna River are in dangerous state, and there is a there is an urgent need to conserve these floodplains of Yamuna River, which can be done ecologically. Yes. So initially, Yamuna was considered as the most sacred place in Delhi, but in Delhi and Mughals established their settlements according to the river edge. But in modern time, the Yamuna became the dumping yard for the society waste as 22-kilometer stretch of Yamuna River is falling in urban area of the Delhi, and which is the most polluted segment of the Yamuna River throughout. So my aim is to restore the floodplains of Yamuna through the window of recreation. So to proceed with my study, I have done a background research on floodplains, and I came to know that the floodplains have changed from initial state to the other from initial stage, and there are three men completely explaining the transformation of floodplains throughout the time. So in 1989, there was a dense green forest in 41%, which is the floodplains were mostly green all over the time, all over the area. But after a decade, almost a decade, people started immigrating to Delhi from the nearby states such as UP and Bihar, and UP and Haryana, and the forest land reduced to half, and that is this 20%, and the farmland has increased because the people coming from the area like UP and they started farming over here, and they started encroaching land illegally encroaching land, and illegal settlement would increase. But after some time, Delhi government took initiative and started restricting forest area, and then uh, which has then forest area has increased around 29%, from 20 to 29% on the floodplains. But it can be seen in the area that settlement has increased a lot. That is around 26%, 28%. Then coming on to the methodology, I'll start with the aim, objective, and background research of the statistical data, understanding the river dynamics, understanding the Delhi master plan analysis and identification of the Delhi master plan. Then in phase two, identification of issues on Yamuna River, mapping of vulnerable areas and the stress, identification of the site, site understanding and analysis, mapping of several issues, and data collection. And then there is a state third where this case study is done. Uh, then I have studied Master Plan Delhi 2021 and several authorities involved in development of Yamuna River. And I came to know just to know about what have been done so far on the floodplains in Yamuna in the back years. So then, moving forward, then I carried a study over the floodplains throughout, and I identified the issues on the floodplain of Yamuna in Delhi, and I came to know that the western part of the floodplains is highly uh, highly occupied with the settlements and developments, but eastern part of the floodplains is uh, uh, somewhere barren, and some green parts are in dangerous state. Waste disposal is the major issue happening all over the eastern plain of Yamuna. However, DDA has banned several areas for as dumping ground, such as this Yamuna Mayur Vihar area. This has been banned, and they have assigned a guard and security guard, and they have assigned a security guard and CCTV cameras are installed here. But if we look into the subzone 2 area, that is Wazirabad Barrage to ISBT flyover, there is this area. This actually in more vulnerable state. This is facing most of the issues such as unsettled illegal encroachment, ongoing construction, ecology, and waste disposal, and cattle breeding, unauthorized cattle breeding, unauthorized parking, and barren land, and houses flood prone to flood risk. So basically, my site is coming from this area. That is this on the basis of this study, I have finalized this site, which will act as a model for the development of river fronts, of development of floodplains ecologically on the Yamuna riverfront. So basic challenge. This is the site, and this is nearby Signature Bridge, which is connecting Bhajanpura to Majnu Katina, and then this is the marginal Bund Road. This is the site, and this is around 4.5 square kilometer, which has a restricted forest area, and there are so many issues such as dumping of solid waste and unauthorized parking activities and cattle breeding taking place, and barren land converting into vegetation land converting into barren land, and this is the condition of the site that whole area is abused with the solid waste disposal. So this is the site basically. Then coming on to the site inventory, then I have studied the major part of the that how the site is uh, eh, uh, today. That is, most of the part is eco-sensitive. Then I have studied the immediate context, which has signature beach as the prominent landmark near the site, and then in the site actually, and then there is accessibility where this marginal one road and Wazirabad to Bhajanpura road is the main accessible road to the site, and this is the Yamuna River. Then coming on to the evolution part, this is the condition in 2004 where the all the area is in farmland, and this is the restricted forest. And then can be seen in 2006 after people left farming, and then this area became barren, and then after the 2000 flood, this the vegetation had developed over here. Then 2013 flood, water catchment can be seen in 2013 and 19, and then green area has been developed. Then in 2000, after 2018, the green area has reduced because of the barren land has increased. And then if we talk about the flood risk, there are uh, we have studied the map, and I came to know that below 70 207 mean sea level, the site has is prone to flood. Then coming on to the documentation part, the documentation was part was done to understand the uh, basic things happening on the site, and figure ground and use map was understand, and then contour mapping was done to understand the levels of the site, and there I came to know that 220 mean sea level is the highest level on the site. That is the region in the restricted forest area. And is drainage and soil flow, that the soil map, which is showing that mainly soil type is Hardap. Then next coming on to the mapping part. Then coming on to the mapping part, several mappings were done to understand the site, and then first mapping was welding, and the solid waste drainage and water mapping was done. to understand where which part is the most vulnerable. This part is the most vulnerable. Most of the solid waste disposal and contaminated water contamination is happening over here. Then there are connection. The map is showing the connection where physical and visual connection are present. Then the map, I came to know with the map that river connection is missing on the site, and physical connection to the recreational spaces is also missing. Then coming on to the recreational part, recreation is still happening on the site as people are coming onto the site on the barren land to play and do things. But these are mostly youngster with the male population, and no activities for the female population is happening on the site. And moreover, the recreational space that is a third coastal park is far away from these dense settlements, so they are unable to reach there, or often they use vehicle to reach there. But when a survey was done, most of them require a recreational space nearby them, or there is no engagement activities happening on the way which can engage them to, and then they feel more welcoming to these recreation spaces. However, this Garhi Mandu area has a recreation space like park and Garhi Mandu sports ground where people play football and practice gymnasts. So this is the basic understanding of the site that recreation spaces are activities are happening, but not in a good condition and systematic way. So we need to look after the better ways to conduct recreation activities for all, as this area is isolated most of the time, and after the sunset people don't stay here and there is no engagement. Then coming on to the activity part, there is most of the activities are happening in morning and evening, uh, between 4 to 6:30 p.m. And if we talk about the activities in afternoon, there is no such activities happening on in afternoon, and most of the users are male users with male user, and they are youngsters. So this is the basic condition of activity on the site. Then coming on to the vegetation, there is a then vegetation mapping, ecology mapping was done, where I understand the ecological condition on the site that which I came to know that this is the restricted forest with the dense dense plantation, and there is a floodplain forest, that is this area and this area where some fruit giving trees are planted, and there is grassland as well, and which is decreasing day by day by the encroachment of the people. And then there are recreational greens, and these are the spaces with which has vegetation in poor condition, which has to be looked after. And there are farming happening over here. Balua farming also happening over here. So we need to look after the green areas which are in poor state. So which will help in proposing design on the site. So basically, there are some bird species also which will help in passive recreation for bird watching and all. And when analysis part was done, and I came to know about, then code analysis was done. The major strength on the site is this is a rich in terms of ecology, and the site is near the dense settlement, which has no open space, so they may have the opportunity to use the space for recreation. And recreation activities are still happening on the site, but they are not in good state. But we can improve them through the design. And if we talk about the weakness, the floodplain is heavily abused with solid waste disposal, which has made soil in soil as well. And then the catchment area with water is highly polluted. Then sewage disposal is directly dumped into the catchment area, and then and land is encroaching water of people. nearby the villages, which is prone to flood and which is a risky actually. So then coming on to the opportunities, so there is a huge scope of recreation, nature-based activities. Then people are coming here to on the site, but they don't have engagement on the site. But this can be there can be engagement through the design itself. The site has a huge land with the which can be transported into the recreational spaces. This can provide a socializing space for the people. So based major threats are flood and toxic fertilizer, which has been used by the villagers on the site. Then coming on to the constraining project potential. Talking about the constraints, there are constraints like solid waste disposal on the site, abused barren land, and connectivity to recreation facilities, I came to know about, which I came to know through the mappings done earlier, and then connection to the river is missing, and construction activities are also happening on the site as directly construction yard is directly built just in between the eco-sensitive area. Then potential are there is a rich ecology where nature-based recreational activities can be proposed. Then the barren land can be converted into recreational space, which will help in attracting people, and this will help in the youth settlement to enjoy recreational activity over here. The catchment areas of water can be uh, converted into oxidized pond, which will help in water-based recreation. Then a structure plan was done, and based on the constraints and potential, a floodplain was is proposed here, and restrictive forest left as it is, and this forest area can be converted into a farmland or orchard, as it has already some fruit giving plants, but fruit giving trees, but more fruit giving trees can be planted here. The outcome will be that this can generate a economy for the generate some economy for the locals over here. We can propose a gymnastics and gymnasium and other playgrounds on the site, which will help the people of Garhi Mandu to play, and this will help in improving the national game as they practice gymnasium and they practice several activities such as cricket, volleyball, and football as well. And then coming on to uh, the, we can build some connection to the river through the tracks and trails, and which will help in better connectivity to the recreation spaces as well. We can provide decks on the bank of the river, which will help in connection to the river and more better views on the site. Agricultural land can be converted into the organic farming, which will help in more natural way of producing vegetables and all. So the manure from the animals can be used for the for organic farming here, and then these catchment area can be turned into the auxiliary plant, which can be connected to the stream from the river, which will help in which will help in uh, providing room for the river during the water level rises. And then coming on to the research plan, these are the activities which has been structured in the plan that are mentioned here. And then if we come to the program brief, I have explained the things which has included in the proposal, that is potential activities for the ecology. Potential activities to develop a design can be natural and ecological, which will help in ecological restoration. Then there are connection can be built between these spaces as well. Then there are recreation activities can be proposed to attract people. And there are river access can be built through the connections, and then cultural education activities can be proposed. Rather than that, other than that, basic facilities can be provided, such as multi-purpose facilities, cafes, operational facilities such as Yamuna Floodplain Office, Maintenance Office, and uh, Maintenance Office. And then coming on to the design development in waves, several elements can be used like water elements and developing mounds and stream connecting to the river. then flat land into the label, and collect approaching sustainable approach with the animal, forest, and house and water. This combination of these activities will have been proposal. So ecological restoration can be done through the green corridors along the area which is highly abused with the solid waste disposal, and green edge to the tracks and trails will have been more ecologically. Then direct connection to the ecological area will have been more nature-based recreational activities, and policy framework can be reducing, improving, repeating initiative partially and fully, um, yeah, and then we can achieve a eco-sensitive, ecological restoration of the particular floodplain. Then coming on to the proposal part. And coming on to the design part, this is the master plan. This has been divided into four zones. That is, first zone is for nature reserve. Second zone is for recreational activities. Third zone is for third zone is for riverfront development, and then fourth zone is for agriculture activities. So nature-based activities includes, this is the nature reserve zone, where this is the restricted forest. This is the restricted forest. Then there is a flood forest. Flood forest. The image showing the flood forest from the signature bridge. Then there is the orchard area where nature walk can be introduced, which will help in connecting with nature. Then there is recreational zone, which is here. The connectivity to the existing park will improve with tracks and trails, and then there are some activities which has proposed on the side, like cricket ground or football ground and court and gymnasium for the settlements. This will help in growing the national game as well. And then there are recreational. Uh, uh, there is water for recreation that it can be connected to the streams from the river, which will help in better ambience on the site. And then there is riverfront, that is this area where decks can be proposed, and decks have been proposed. This is the deck area, and this is the cycle track with river deck. And this is the cycle track going over here, and this is the deck area, which is connecting to the cycle track. And then there is a agriculture area where organic farming can be done, and then this area can be utilized for balua farming, uh, that is farming for cucumber and other species like watermelon and all. So this is the whole concept of the area. This can be developed ecologically, which will help in the ecological restoration of the project. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much.